Apparently, our GOAT has spoken. Our GOAT has something to say about what the San Antonio Spurs should be doing. Okay? You're probably wondering who that GOAT is. Well, if you can read, you can see that it's George Gervin. So George Gervin had something to say, apparently, about how the Spurs should conduct business. Who is he to tell us what we should do? I'm just kidding. So big shout out to, I think this is from Run It Back. Yeah, this is from Run It Back. Let's see. Well, crap. It's really tough for me when I'm on my laptop because I can't see how loud this is for you. I'm gonna need you guys to let me know if this is too loud.
Great. Ice, my last question for you. Spurs this year, this month, second, 14th pick in the draft. They obviously have a young nucleus, a young core moving forward. You're the GM. A lot of talk. Do you package those two picks to get a star to win now, or do you continue?
Chandler Parsons has, like, from what I remember, I haven't watched him in a long time. He has some of, like, the worst takes ever, right? And I know that he got, like, a lot of hate for basically, like, making a bunch of money and not having to do much. Michelle Beadle's here, though, so that's always good.
Need this movement of this young core that they have.
You build a young core up. You know, I think that's important, and then you have something that you can build for, you know, for a while. Now, we already got 5 championships, so, you know, if you want some more and you want more than one, then you got to build a solid foundation.
Exactly. Yo, boo on Parsons. Yeah. Exactly. You got to build up from that. I agree.
You know, and grow from there. They got a good nucleus. They got a good, real.
Oh God.
Fox coming in.
Oh God. I hope he doesn't do this. Okay, this is my pet peeve. Okay, he's the GOAT. Our GOAT will not do this. Okay, my pet peeve is when people talk about our young core and they bring up Keldon Johnson. I do not mean to be a jerk. Okay, I promise I do not mean to be a jerk. All right. I do like Keldon Johnson as a person. I think that he's awesome on the bench. I think that he is. Oh God, that sounded really bad. No, I mean, I think that he is awesome teammate. That's what I mean when I say on the bench. I think he's great off the court. I think he is San Antonio. How much he cares about San Antonio. You know, when the rumors went around and it was very close to a trade involving him for Fox, you could see how sad he was during those press conferences. It was pretty hard to watch. So like, I do like him as a person. Okay, I do. But man, there is so many people that come out and say Keldon Johnson's part of this young core, and I don't agree with that. You watch the games, I don't agree with that. All right, I'm sure he won't say that. He's the GOAT.
You know, Wemby, I mean, they got a good nucleus to really put something together. Hey, y'all know just like I know, the old era is gone. No LeBron, no Steph.
It's a new wave.
Durant.
KJ Young. People will say that, like, well, I mean, you know, in life he is as an NBA player. Yeah, I mean, he's still. I would say KJ technically isn't in his prime yet.
You know, they got the young fellas now, so everybody, hey Lou, everybody gonna be an ex-player one day.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
That hurts.
100%.
George, you're not going to remember this, so before we let you go, like 25 years ago, the Spurs let me host a...
George Gervin's like 80 years old, and he has a better take than all of you. Not my chat, but you know who I'm talking. You know the Spurs fans I'm talking about. Not you guys.
Pre-game show. It was the first time I got to do anything on the air that was like a real show. And you basically did half the show with this idiot standing next to you that was trying to figure out how to talk on a microphone. So I will forever be grateful for that time in my life. You were awesome. You were lovely. It was fantastic. And then I think we lost to the Lakers. But that's all right. That doesn't matter. We're good.
Thank you, legend.
She is a true fan.
My last question
She is
for
a
you.
true fan. Unlike Skip Bayless, who will literally just like be so flaky, bro. Like, he is the most flaky fan I've ever seen in my life. He complains about Popovich. He complains about so much BS. When we're not winning, no longer is he a Spurs fan. He hated Kawhi until he won a championship, and now he loves Kawhi. Like, he is the worst, bro. He is the worst. that is not a true fan, in my opinion. He's wishy-washy. If we're winning, he loves us. If we're losing, whatever. We're no longer his Spurs. Now it's my Thunder. What are you talking about? Michelle Beadle actually is a real fan. Okay, so I see a few people have some takes about KJ. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm super sleepy right now. Like I said, it's like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. where some of you guys are. But I'm gonna try to be as upfront as humanly possible. Okay. All right. So let me put. All right. Okay. It's on me now. Okay. All right. Here's my problem with KJ. Okay. It has nothing to do with him as a person. I think we all love KJ. This isn't like a DeJounte Murray situation where I didn't like him. Like, I thought off the court, DJ was pretty awful. Like, I didn't like him. I thought that he was very selfish during games. I don't think that way about KJ at all. Okay. So as a person, as a teammate, right, as someone who represents the organization, I think he's awesome. He is A1 in all those categories. He brings the right amount of energy. He plays hard. He has all of that, okay? But the problem with KJ is his playing style, okay? And I can kind of relate this to DeJounte Murray a little bit, okay? They got different play styles, but just try to bear with me for a minute, okay? My big problem with DeJounte, okay, apart from the personal stuff, I thought that DJ was a player where he's good enough where he should be on the court, but then the way that he plays and the way that he, usually needs the ball in his hands to be effective, he's not a star, right? He's not a really great player. So you kind of hurt the team when he has to take on that role. But then, say you put him in a different role, right? Let's put DeJounte Murray in, a role-playing role. Well, he's not the best at the role-playing role. What he's best at is with the ball in his hands. But with the ball in his hands, it hurts the teammates, right? That's my problem with KJ, if that makes sense. When KJ has the ball, it's like he can be hot or cold, right? He can be really impressive getting to the rim, but almost all the time, it's going to be hard to win those games if KJ has to take over. But that's the type of player that he is. But then let's just put him in a situation where we're like, okay, KJ, we need you to just sit in the corner. We need you to play good defense and just sit in the corner and be a role player. He's not good at that. He's not good defensively. And he's streaky when it comes to asking him to shoot, a multitude of threes for you. So you can't move him into a role-playing role. So what do you do with him? And the best version of KJ that we see is when other players are hurt or when we have to have him, take on a lot of possessions. That's when we see the best version of KJ. But we're not going to win that way because he's not good enough to lead the team to winning. So that's where it bothers me. You understand what I'm saying? Why is it you got to be kidding me? Oh, just because it was so much news, and we just went over the Spurs being off of KD, and it's literally the same day we have to get on and talk about this. You get what I'm saying? He's there for situational plays, but is that worth it? Because his defense is bad. If KJ's defense was slightly above average, I'm not even saying Devin Vassell. He don't even have to be a Devin Vassell's level. If it's just slightly above average, I could see usage for him. But I don't know. There's too many plays that he give up defensively. I don't know if you guys realize how bad KJ is defensively. If he doesn't get his touches, he's not impactful. That's what I'm saying, because he's he's a horrid defender. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's making sense. That's what makes me worried when it comes to KJ, because he has to have the ball in his hands to be the most effective, to be the best version of himself. He has to have the ball in his hands, right? He has to have the ball. And I look at other players on the team that are role, because KJ's a role player, right? And I look at other players on the team that are going to be role players, right? I think, I don't know what Steph Castle will be. I'm assuming he'll be a role player, kind of like Derek White. But Sohan, right? I talk about Sohan all the time. I think Sohan is a role player, right? But he's a really great role player. But if he can develop, we always talk about this, if he can develop a really great or a decent 3-point shot, oh man, we're really nasty, right? But like, even if he can't and he's not being effective and the ball isn't in his hands, what is he doing? He's making some really smart cuts, right? He's giving some really hard screens, some really great screens. I mean, he's communicating fairly well. If the ball in his hands, he's a good passer, right? So he can pass it out. He makes good reads. He has all these other qualities. And then on the defensive end, he plays great defense, right? He can literally lock down stars at times. Right? So like, he can bring so many different things to the table with the ball not in his hands. Can someone seriously tell me what KJ can do if the ball isn't in his hands? Alex, that's awful, bro. That's awful, bro. Cut. I don't think KJ's like the best cutter. I mean, you know, the difference between Sohan and KJ is Sohan is a wonderful defender, a plus rebounder, and has playmaking chops. KJ can put the ball in the hoop at a decent level, and that's it. That's what I'm saying. He can shoot. KJ, it depends on what day it is. There's times where KJ goes off, but that's what I'm saying. The ball has to be in his hands. Really great role players are effective whether they're getting the ball or not. Those are the great ones. Think about all the role players that we've had with the team before. All of them could do different things with the ball not in his hands. I mean, look at Danny Green, right? Danny Green didn't have to have the ball in his hands, but he was a good enough three-point shooter that he opened up the court just by his presence, right? Just by being on the court, he opened things up. Mentioned Boris Diaw. That's a fine one. Yeah, good defender too. Yeah, Danny Green was a really great defender. I wouldn't even say good. I think Danny Green was a great defender. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. You and Obi Toast, me and you are like this right now, son. I could just read his comments the whole time. I don't have to give my thoughts. He said, if you like KJ's shooting ability, you can find a shooter of similar or better caliber for cheaper, and they aren't liabilities on the defensive end. I don't know if you can find one that much cheaper. Well, yeah, maybe you can. Keldon Johnson is like, he does have a pretty decent contract. I will say that. But that's all I'm saying. Those are my thoughts, okay? He's a player that is the most effective with the ball in his hands. And when it's not, there's not much you're getting out of him. It's just not much you're getting. And that's a serious issue. It's a vibe. Khalil, it's a vibe, right? It's a vibe. He said, I like Keldon's energy and heart, man. It's a vibe. It's a literal vibe. That's what it is. I'm not like insulting you. I'm saying like that's how I feel. I went to like for instance, I went to a game with this is maybe like 2 years ago. I don't know. I went with my girlfriend. She does not watch, the Spurs, right? Like she didn't know any of the players. But she was watching it. We went to the game. And after it, she was like, man, that one player, and she was talking about Keldon, obviously. She said, that one player, she was like, he plays hard. He really plays hard. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. Because I don't even think his stats weren't even like great after the game, but it's a vibe, right? Like he brings that energy. So someone who doesn't even watch the Spurs will watch and say, dang, that guy, he really plays hard. But it's not enough because everything I was noticing during the game was I was like, he gave up a three-pointer at this point. He gave up an easy cut, right? A backdoor cut. He didn't get down the court when he should have. Like it was so many things where I was like, I just noticed all the negatives, but it's like it's a vibe with him. He does play hard. Even your girl no clay. No, that's a bad thing that someone who doesn't watch the Spurs would just say that. That's not a good thing. No, it's just X. No. Exactly. It's hard to hate someone who plays their heart out. And it will be so much easier. Like, I could go so much harder if he wasn't such an awesome person. At least from what we've seen. Like, he seems like an awesome person, you know? And that's what makes it suck. And by the way, if he does get traded, there will be a Dear Keldon. I don't know if he will care for it because we talk so much, but yeah. But yeah. That's all I have to say.